Good early morning brings us from almost the turning basin. We have Virgin's new terminal right there, and of course, beautiful downtown Miami. We are about to turn around and, well, tie up right there-ish, probably. Looks like Symphony beat us this morning. I don't know who that is back there. Either way, about, 3 hours left, so I'm, well, I already have the most important beverage of the day, and as soon as the buffet opens, probably going to get something for the most important meal of the day, and then get ready to disembark. So, probably we'll talk about that a little bit. They seem to have put a lot of effort into making that a smooth procedure, despite it being very, very early. But, well, that's okay. All I have to do is go home. All right, so, well, one last look at the beautiful port of Miami, and let's go wait for, well, actually, I think we have at least half an hour to wait for breakfast, so let's go and, I don't know, catch up on the world, because we're back. I know this is super nitpicky, but every time I come out on deck here and in the jungle pool bar or whatever, the deck furniture is just always randomly scattered about. It's like nobody ever bothers to, like, arrange it, ever. Like here, there's just 2 chairs, like, in front of the door, and a table. Okay. You see, what this tells me is that despite being in business for a little over 30 years, MSC Cruises just isn't a mature company. And maybe it's still run as a side project from their container ship business. And, you know, it's just those little things. It's like nobody has ever bothered to add to the crew schedule or the operations manual something as simple as rearrange the deck chairs. You know, and I never noticed it before because, you know, when you walk around other ships, like in the morning, everything is always very neatly arranged, or they're put away. On some ships, they literally put all the chairs away every night and bring them out in the morning. So for some reason, they've uncovered a reason to do that, and that's fine. But here, it's just nobody bothers to rearrange the chairs. And, you know, this has to be something that either headquarters has never said to do or nobody on board has ever said to do. It's just part of the culture that, I don't know, they just never noticed it. I don't know. I noticed it, and I don't know. It's not that hard, so I don't know. Well, I don't know. Maybe they'll get it together, but come on. 3 decades? You know, like with a lot of things in this world right now, the excuse of ignorance is not going to work anymore. Welcome to Miami. Always a pleasure to behold. I probably have said this on every arrival, but wow, I remember way back when, you know what, I couldn't even see. Oh, there it is, the one building that I remember as a kid. It is now literally overshadowed by everything else. So, wow, we have grown up, haven't we? You know, that's not always a good thing. Here it's the same thing. The furniture is just sort of randomly jumbled about in, I don't know, I don't know. I've seen this, like, arranged, but I don't know. Even over there, there's a couch that's turned around, and I don't know. Maybe kids, but yeah, I don't think so. Another very distinct possibility, maybe even probability, is that Europeans are just more accepting of lower operational quality. I don't really like going to Europe because it's annoying and frustrating, and I don't know, things just aren't as nice, and they're just not run as well, typically. I mean, except for like the American companies, of course, but you know, it's just these little things that it's like, maybe they don't notice or care, or they never thought to point it out. That's what I said before. And, you know, all the Europeans that sail, they just kind of accept that as normal. You know, I mean, like the free but otherwise crappy healthcare that they have. They don't know any better, and they don't know that things can be better. Well, they can, and it's not that difficult to achieve. I will give them credit for having enough hand washing stations here in the buffet. This one is at the jungle pool entrance, and they do have one or several, by other entrances. They are not as functional as Mardi Gras. Those were like near perfection. You have to place your hands up under there really, really close, so you can't really tell how far you need to, and then if it's too far away, the water stops, and that's just super, super frustrating. And the towels they use, if they're packed in there too tightly, you end up ripping it apart. So maybe they could tweak the packing of the towels a little bit, and that would make it so much better. And you know what? Decrease the sensitivity, or lengthen the range on the sensor. That would make it so much better. I'm sitting down to breakfast now, but I thought, you know what? In the interest of fairness, because life is only as fair as you make it, I want to compare basically Italian cruise lines. So when things get back to normal, meaning when Fauci, Rochelle, and their whole coven is in prison, I'm going to take probably a Costa cruise. Costa is also an Italian-based cruise line, but they are owned wholly by Carnival. So I'm curious to see if the corporate culture for the basics, permeates down to these other cruise lines. Meaning there is somebody at Carnival headquarters here in Miami, of course, who kind of reviews all the policies and makes sure that the operations manual has arranged the deck chairs. You know what? I mean, the cruise line can arrange them however they want. Maybe the Italians like to face away from the sun and the British like to face into the sun. That's totally fine, but they have to arrange them. Now, by the way, I will point out that I have seen the crew now out arranging the furniture, but that is not something, what I saw in both places, that's not something that the guest should see first thing in the morning. That should be taken care of during the wee hours when everybody is asleep. So when the early risers get up, and well, actually, we're way past the early risers, everybody experiences a nice, organized deck. So, yeah, there's still a way to go. Breakfast is nothing special. Had all of these before, but this I haven't gotten before. The only thing I could read on the dispenser was multivitamin juice or multivitamin mix. So I don't really know what it is. It's a mix of stuff, but I'm not really sure what the basis is. There was pineapple and I think orange, and then multivitamin mix. All right, it's not bad, but give it a try. And I'm done with cruise ship food for now. Disembarkation has begun. I don't know if they started calling numbers. They've been asking for the self-debarkation to leave and everyone else to go to their area. I'm out of my cabin. It's just after 8 o'clock. So early. Anyway, cabin tour at the end. But my advice to MSC Cruises, so if you want to be a real cruise line and be taken seriously, if you want to play with the big boys, there's really only one option for you. You gotta move to Florida. That's it. Or at least, bare minimum, open a legit North American or Western Hemisphere operations center in Florida with operations, marketing, everything you would need basically to run the cruise line in this hemisphere. And it has to be in Florida. Not even Miami. You don't have to be within a stone's or a frisbee throw of the other real cruise lines. Melbourne, Cape Canaveral, or the Tampa Bay area are beautiful places. And when you start poaching people, then you can give them the opportunity to, maybe get out of Miami and move to Central Florida. There's a lot of people that are looking for that opportunity, so keep that in mind. Some free advice. Well, I mean, I would take a free cruise, of course. I would never say no. But realistically, it's what you have to do. So we look forward to having you here. We are a very welcoming and open state. And, of course, we want the business. But remember, I said this before, very, very important. While everything is better in Florida, anything can be made better in Florida. So keep that in mind. We would love to have you.